Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Always please like and share our page. It does help us out. It gets our name out there and gets the branding out. I'm Brian with Texas Freedom. We got Casey here with us. She heads up the sales for the B2B. So all the physicians and different smoke shops and stuff like that, they're usually talking to Casey on the phone or texting or email. We have other staff members in there, but Casey's the director of that. So I'm going to have her kind of answer some of the product questions that we have, and we'll kind of go over each product and give you as much education as possible on the different things that we carry in our store. We will have a link below of this page to go to our health and wellness side. I did do a link in a video of the health and wellness side for it. This is going to be for more about, this is Party City, so this is going to be more of have fun for the weekend, recreational enjoyment. So let me just jump right in there and kind of explain everything that we have sitting out here. Of course, we have a display and a store starter deal that Casey sells quite a bit. She can send you the info on it. It's really a display that has all the different products, and we package them all up. So a lot of the products will come shipped to you like this, shrink wrapped up, and there'll be a case of them. This just happens to be our case of vapes. So as you notice on the deal, these cases of vapes here are going to have they're going to have an indica, a sativa, and a hybrid. So there'll be 10 vapes per little container. There's 30 total, but there'll be 10 separated out per deal, and it's divided out inside the container. Rip off the top of the box, and this acts as your display. So this little door will flip out. This will be a gravity-fed box, and then you could pull your vapes out of there, and they will come individually wrapped, just like what we have here, which is just a tear open blister pack. Also, if they wanted to hang them in the stores or anywhere in your facility, you can hang them up. They're also hole punched in there, so if you want to put them on a peg, that works as well. But these displays work out really good. You just tear out the tops and or tear out the bottom part here, and it's gravity fed, so it'll come out the top. So I'm going to jump in and let Casey chime in on some of the stuff the products that we have. Casey, this is the 2 mil vape here that we have into the box here. So there's 30 in a container here, which this is going to be, individuals can watch the video, and we'll give them the education on the vapes and stuff like that, as well as your staff members and stuff that are participating in the B2Bs. This is more of a wholesale play. These are going to be for people that want to have multi-volume. Even though some of the ones we just sold to a client, he bought a whole box of them. A customer walked in, tried a vape, come back and bought the whole box. So he's like, well, do I sell them the whole box? I said, of course. I said, it's like selling 30 individual ones. But anyways, I mean, we had to ship him some more boxes of vapes. But anyways, it's really a cost-effective way to jump in there and get on that. But again, since it could be general public watching this or any facilities or whatever else, I don't discuss pricing. You'll contact Casey. She'll hook you up on the pricing, get you set up in our company. If you want to be tax-free on the deal, or just give us her tax number and she'll give you all the information to set everything up on that. But again, let's talk about the stuff we have at Texas Freedom. We have a 2 mil vape here, Casey. Pretty popular, I'm assuming, with the 2 mil vapes and also the carts as well, right?
Yes, I mean, you really can't beat a 2 milliliter vape for the price you're paying. In that packaging, you're getting really the most bang for your buck, for sure.
Yeah, and that's what we wanted to do. This happens to be, they come in a bunch of different, so for those that don't know, is terpenes. So the terpenes here is a blueberry muffin. There's a million different terpenes. Terpenes are the flavor. So different terpenes are also going to be a sativa or an indica or a hybrid type terpene. They lean more towards, their profile leans more towards that direction on top of the flavor. So that's what we have in each one of the vapes, and they're all different. It could be strawberry wine, it could be blueberry muffin, it could be runts, it could be anything. But in our carts the same way. The carts will be packaged just like this in a 30 count box, and they're tear open packs too. But I think that the big deal is for the people is they wanted volume. They didn't care as much about putting them in a real shiny, cool box, because they said most of the boxes get dumped in their trash on the way out the door. and because they're trying the vapes as they leave. So we tried to keep it as much cost effective as we could. And on a 2 mil vape, they run 1 mils to 5 mils. The problem is I had a customer ask me yesterday, what about a 5 mil? And I said, do you want the customer coming into your location every month, or do you want them coming every 3 months? And they said, well, every month, because they keep buying. I said, exactly. So why in the world would you sell a 5 mil vape? Unless they're a real heavy user and they use it a ton. But other than that, that's discussing the vapes. The next product we're going to skip on to here is these are going to be our bites. So these are a Delta 9. Are these nano?
Yes,
they are nanos. Okay, so let me explain the difference between nano and just regular Delta 9 or Delta 8. So the nano, you're going to get the effects of the product within 15 minutes. If it's a standard Delta 9 or Delta 8 without being nano, you're looking at 45 minutes to 1 hour. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So that's what you're looking at on these products. These are great for micro dosing. So people that don't want to be, relaxed in the couch and ready to go sleepy time, then they may want to take these during the day, and then they regulate themselves. Everybody's metabolism is different. So they could regulate themselves with just a 10 milligram and maybe take one before lunch, maybe one after lunch. And for a lot of people that have anxiety and they get nervous, they get sweaty hands, they don't like being put on the spot or being pressured or stressed at the job, they could use these products here and nobody would know any different. They would just turn around and use this to treat that anxiety and to kind of make them chill zone throughout the day. So that's kind of what this deal is. And I want to really hit on to understand anything that says Delta 8, Delta 9, anything that says THC on it or a full spectrum CBD, you definitely will test positive on a drug test. So if you are getting a drug test at work, if you're not concerned about it, no problem. Buy everything you want. But if you are concerned about drug testing or whatever, we do offer products on our health and wellness side that is THC free. But if you're on this page, then you're probably interested in having a good time. So, this is, just realize you will test positive on a drug test. So I want to make sure we're real specific on that. Then we'll skip to our next product here. By the way, we have some of our caramels. These are our chocolate chews here that we have, and I'll get to them here just next on the deal. And then these are some of our caramels. These are some of our gummies that we've done, and it's giving me kind of a sugar high just grabbing them, but they're definitely coated in they're sweet. The gummies melt in your mouth. They're really tasty.
I'll say they taste good.
Yeah, the taste is really good, and that was important to us. We make everything in house. Everything in house. I think Casey had a guy ask the other day. I said, I doubt that. I said, yes, we make everything. We can, if you really want to come to our facility and take a tour of our processing and manufacturing facility, we have windows set up in it. They can walk through it. If you're a B2B, we welcome it. If you're in Texas, we're in East Texas in Texarkana. If you wanted to come into our facility and take a look and take a tour of our facility, you could see it made. And so we package here, we make it here, everything's done here. So we put viewing windows in our deal, a long hallway where you can walk through there and actually take a look at it. Some of our people have already come in. They've drove from Dallas and different places, San Antonio, across Texas, just to come check it out. So it's interesting to look at, and people really like the science behind it. But everything is infused. We do not spray anything. All of our flour, the only thing we do not make in-house is our flour. So we have a farm in Oregon, unlimited supply of whatever you want flour-wise.
The best flour.
Yeah, and the quality is, the reason we go to Oregon and do it, could we get it in Texas? Could we grow it in Texas? Sure. The problem is it's the soil, it's the climate. They don't produce the quality of the flour that our customers want. So we teamed up with a farm in Oregon. We can produce up to 1,200 pounds per week if they wanted that much volume in flour. You just need to realize the price scale varies really, really a lot. So I mean, you can get stuff that's kind of low quality, that's has a lot of seeds in it, that's not as good a quality, a color and quality of what people want. The quality stuff. It's just problem is that you have to pay for it. So we got it from anywhere from what, 1,000 a pound up to, well, it depends. If you're talking about CBD, it's different. It could be a lot less expensive. But if you're talking about getting up into other different flowers and different cannabinoids, then you're going to get high. We got stuff as high as 3,200 a pound.
I was going to say about 2,000 and up for, your AAA bud stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's what you need to realize is are you a connoisseur? It's just like wine. You can go to Sam's and get a $10 bottle, or you can go out to a fine restaurant and it's 2,000.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's the same difference on just paying for what you're getting. Okay, well, we'll skip to the next product, which is our shots. So these are our D9 Nano shots. What a lot of our customers like to do is they like to take these D9 Nano shots, put them in a Dr. Pepper, put them in a Coke, cherry limeade from Sonic. Figure out what your dosing is, what your tolerance is. So I would always recommend any products, if it's on our Delta 8 side of it, is a quarter to half dose, just to, unless you're high tolerance and you know exactly what you're taking, you need to really, when I get to the next product, I'll explain. But let's just say this D9 shot, it's 40 milligrams in this one container. So almost like a 5-hour energy type container. But this shot here, you could drink it, just the distillate. It might not taste the greatest, but you could turn around and put it into a Dr. Pepper, a Coke float, make some ice cream with it, doesn't matter. It's not going to take away the effects. But it is a nano. This is a Delta 9. So when you think Delta 9, everybody understands Delta 9 is the marijuana type derivative. But this is just hemp derived and not cannabis derived from marijuana. So this is going to be a hemp derived product. It is D9. It will definitely get you high. So make no mistake on that. But I've never seen anybody overdose on weed.
No,
so,
I haven't.
I mean, they can get high and they can go to sleep.
So maybe get lazy and sleep a long time.
And but other than that, for people with really issues on sleep, I deal with a ton of military people, a lot of people that said, man, I have bad anxiety, nothing works. I don't want to take Ambien. There's some, they say I'd rather take more of a plant-based alternative, and that's non-addictive. The great part of this is none of this is addictive. You might like to do it, but it's not. You're not going to have to go to a treatment facility to get off of it. So the thing is, pain clinics, we have ketamine clinics that use this stuff. A lot of pain doctors will send them over here to us, and they're like, I don't want to write oxycodone. I don't want to write all these other, tramadol and all these different other pain meds that will hook you. I don't want to write Xanax for the anxiety. Why don't you try this stuff first? It's non-addictive. If it works for you, fantastic. Then we don't get you hooked on some drug that you got to go to Malibu to get treatment. But anyways, that's the nano. So nano, 15 minutes. Remember, 15 minutes on that. If it's just a standard D8 or D9, 45 minutes to an hour.
And also with the shots, we have a lot of people that are trying to get off alcohol and not drink alcohol. And this is a really good substitution for them to be able to mix it in like a Coke and sip on it throughout the night. So.
Yeah, and it still is going to do the same thing. They want to feel good, and that's a good thing, without killing your liver.
Absolutely.
So we get to the next product. These are our extreme chews. So these here, we have a caramel and a chocolate. So these are what they look like here. So I don't know if you can kind of see them, but they're about an inch by an inch by an inch. So that's the size of them. This is our caramel. These are 400 milligrams, the bad boys. These are under our Crazy Clown logo. So this is the Crazy Clown 420. You'll see it on our site. If you see it here where it says the clown don't mess around, it does not mess around. So if you are a beginner, but buyer beware, go in there at your own risk.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
So be careful on this stuff, because this is really strong. These are for the people that have high tolerance. These are for the people that I get from California that says, well, I do the real stuff. I said, okay, real stuff. Go ahead and take this and do that, and then let me know how it goes. And they're like, man, I need to shake your hand. They said, this put me on my butt. So, I mean, the whole deal is, and a lot of military people use this because they've had a lot of injuries, they've been to war, PTSD. This works really great. I was talking to a retired police officer yesterday, and he says, well, man, I can't sleep. I'm trying to get off Ambien and do all that deal, and so I'm trying this. And he said, man, this is where I want to do. You know, I don't want to do that because I have bad side effects on my Ambien. So, I mean, this is not a dig against Ambien. It's just saying that we all know there's bad side effects to different drugs, but it lists about 4,200 bad side effects on the products when they put them on TV. I know I have to list everything, but just look at our reviews. Look at our reviews on our customers. That'll tell you if there's any bad side effects, because we don't pay nobody for any testimonials. We don't pay anybody for reviews. They do them because they want to do them. And we tell them, hey, we're not getting paid. No, I want to tell people. People need to understand and know what this does for me. Plenty of people. The one lady that had the motorcycle wreck that was in a coma.
Yes.
And she used some of the products and did all the deal. She said, man, I didn't get on no pain pills. I didn't do nothing. This is what I take, and it's fantastic. I mean, she actually was in a coma from a motorcycle wreck, skull fractures, I mean, broken bones. But she's on there. Just look on there and see on the testimonials. I won't name her by name, but just look on the testimonials. You'll see.
Well, since I've come here, it's really been surprising and shocking to me, all of the people that come in here that are suggested to come in here by doctors, just different alternatives than pills or, you know, like what you were talking about, Ambien, pain pills. It's just an overwhelming amount of people that come in here looking for just an alternative to sleep better, pain-free. So that's what's kind of taken us from, you know, just a shop. We initially started out, we were just going to be a retailer. We were just going to sell stuff from people that we bought it from manufacturers, and be a retailer. What we got upset about was the reviews were coming back choppy, like oh, this gummy worked, this gummy didn't, this worked, this didn't work at all. And we're like, what is going on here? What we learned is necessarily what you see on the packages is not 100% right. So ours, 110% right. I know, I pay for the tests. So we get third-party testing. We do every single product batching, all gets third-party testing. We have batch numbers on it where we could track this. We know exactly down to the batch. If a store told us something about something that was in Indiana, give us that numbers on the back of there, we could track it. So we're gonna know on the testing, we're gonna do everything third-party testing. We tested our competition, and a lot of stuff that they said it was on their packaging was not on that test. So I don't know, they're kind of, you know, telling a story without naming names. They're kind of telling you a story about what's on it, and it's not on it. Like one in particular, a vape that we tested, they said, oh, it has 4 different cannabinoids in it. You know, it has this, that, and the other. I said, really? It just says Delta 8 on your test. You know, so, I mean, I just don't really like, you know, people not telling the true story. Just say what's in it. We know what's in it because we make it. So that's the whole deal is we're going to know exactly what's in there. We are a manufacturer. We have a manufacturer license. We have a cultivation license, and we have a retail license. So we have all 3 in the state of Texas. One of very few that's actually a manufacturer in Texas. Okay, and then we jump on to pre-rolls. So this is kind of a cool little display. It holds all the pre-rolls in here that you could do on the deal. And I think, yeah, this one is sativa and indica. Mm-hmm. So half of them here, this 12, right? Yes, 12 and 12.
Here, 12 and 12. So it'll have a 12 and 12 mix on there, which is pretty cool. It depends on what they want. And they say, oh yeah, give me an indica. Okay, a pre-roll, for those that don't know, that's been away for the past 50 years. A pre-roll is a joint. A pre-roll is a rolled up flower inside of a pre-roll, that inside of a I don't know, cigarette type deal or whatever, but it is made. We have those. Our farm in Oregon ships them to us ready to go. So we turn around and tell them, hey, we do all the labeling and everything else, but our farm in Oregon makes everything for us. But the pre-rolls are really cool about having those, and for people that like to smoke, old school, stuff like that, there's your smoke.
And I honestly haven't seen anywhere else that has this kind of packaging where it's 12 and 12 of indica and sativa. So that way, I mean, you're getting 2 different strains in one container.
Yeah, and that's the good part about selling. So we try to make it take up as little space as possible to get the full effect. So that hence is the store in a box. So we come up with a store in a box of different products that you could slide these in there and get a lot of volume in a small amount of space. That's why we did this packaging like this. So you get a lot of volume in a small amount of space. The business owners love it. We literally take up 1 square foot of space. So you literally could have your own CBD store in 1 square foot of space. If you wanted a health and wellness box and a Party City box, a Crazy Clown box, you'd have 2 different deals in a space that takes up less than half this table.
And then with the products being individually sealed, it makes for really great add-ons at the counter. And since it's in a display, it's really great for up at the counter, by the register, and you have individually sealed items make great add-ons. So.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what, even on the sales side of it, we talk to a lot of business owners, and that's what we try to tell them is, look, you can increase your sales 20, 30% just by your employees doing suggestive sales at the register. You know, you could have that store in a box, even though you may have it throughout your store. You could have the store in a box. We literally have one in our retail spot. You could have it sitting up there and just say, hey, well, you want to try this? Well, let me try that. How much is that? Oh, it's $5 or whatever. Like if they're looking at this, like here is that's a cherry punch. Yeah, that's a cherry punch fruit chew. It's 150 milligrams of the D8. So this is the baby version of the caramel. So this is the 400. This is the 150. But the thing is people, everybody's body's different. So you need to check it and see what you can tolerate. So if the 150 is good and you bite it, you take a third of it, then that's a 50 milligram. Then take 50 milligrams of it. You know what? It goes a long ways. Keep the package. Open up the package, tear it open, stick it back in there on what you don't eat. And it may last you 2 or 3 days. And so the good part is yeah, we have a big box that we sell you. This has 30 count in it, right?
Yes.
So 30 count in the box. So you could turn around and do it. It may be multiple dose, or it may be a party pack. You may want to get this caramel, and y'all got 4 in the car. So each one of you take a quarter. So I mean, and that's a really cheap way instead of buying 2 cases of beer. You know, I mean, that's the whole deal is you know, it's affordable. The single dosing is definitely affordable.
Yes.
People keep coming back to the stores. They could try multiple flavors. They're not limited to just one thing. They could do multiple different flavors. That's what the customers liked on us.
Yes.
Is we had individual boxes. So we had a full 30 count of blue raspberry, a full 30 count of cherry punch, a full chocolate, a full caramel. So they're like, oh man, let me mix it up. It's like the candy shop. So they could turn around and do all that. So customers really like that. Now, the next product here that we have over here, so we have the chews. The next product here is the caramels. These are the D9s. So there's a difference between D8 and D9. D8 is going to be more of a higher energy, would you say? More of a higher energy, less of kind of put you to sleep. D9 is going to be more like traditional marijuana type deal.
That's what I was just going to say. It's going to be more
relaxing.
More like marijuana, what you would find on the street. Yes.
So that's the equivalent. That's the difference on the D8 and the D9. So this is going to be more higher energy, more focus, more relaxation. So if you're having a party and y'all want to get it together, I mean, and by the way, these brownie bites that we have, these are microdoses. We also sell like a full package of brownie mix. So if you wanted to mix a pan of brownies and have a party over, you could have your pot party without it being pot.
And I'm pretty sure the brownies that are in the bag that you can make at home, I'm pretty sure those are 500 milligram.
Yes.
So it'd be 500 milligrams? Yep.
For the whole pan?
Yes, the whole pan.
So just a regular standard brownie pan, a 9 by 12 or whatever it is?
I think it's 9 by 9.
Yeah, so you can make that 9 by 9 and cut up the brownies, and you could have 9 doses for your friends and maybe mom, dad, whoever. And okay, so then I'm going to get over here. This is the last thing here. The ladies really like this.
I would say that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the hot cocoa. So this is just exactly what it sounds like. If you were thinking, you know, Nestle, Swiss Miss, whatever, you know, hot cocoa that you like, this is a hot cocoa with a kick. So this is going to be a 25 milligram D9. So same as a D9 gummy over there, but these are 2.5 potency of 2.5 of these little cookie bites. So you can actually have you a little cookie, and you can have you a little dip it in your cocoa. And so a lot of the ladies like it. They take this, and I mean, it's nap time. So they get really good sleep out of this. This is before bed, doing whatever. Anything D9 is going to give you, is going to calm you down and get you more relaxed. Anything that's D8's may be a little bit more focused. So that's kind of where we're at on that stuff on the education. I just want y'all to understand the difference between, you know, the D8 is focus, daytime, might make you a little drowsy, but the D9 for sure is going to be more of a drowsy deal. But if you're taking it at all, you know exactly what it's going to do. And so we have all the different products here. Give Casey a call. She'll be happy to help y'all out, get y'all set up. You'll be on your wholesale website. We can get you set up in there. We ship to anywhere. And the great thing is we're doing the federal farm bill in 2018. They did it to where we could ship out any of this stuff in pretty much any state. Maybe there's a little bit of regulations on the Delta 8, but the Delta 9, no. So, I mean, we could ship it out pretty much anywhere. Across the country, we ship to Alaska, we've shipped to Oregon, Indiana, I mean, all over. Florida, you know,
I was just going to say, I've got people in north, south, I mean, all over.
It's all over. I mean, we can't go outside of the continental U.S., but we can ship into the states it's legal to ship to. Casey will be able to guide you on that and get you set up. If y'all have questions, if you're a new business trying to get set up, give us a call. We just handled a call that we were in the office and they were asking if they could do this and that and other. Yes, no, yes, yes, no, no. So, I mean, we don't mind helping out business owners because that's how that's going to put y'all where you're going to grow. And my recommendation, a lot of people want to do white label. Here's the issue with the white label is, are you a manufacturer? If you're not a manufacturer, you still got to have the manufacturer's name on it somewhere. And they got to know, that state agency's got to track it down to who made this. And that's what they're looking at. So I would really, unless you're going to do some big volume, I really don't care to really white label too much, I'll be honest with you. I'll bottle it for you and do all that, but I'm going to just be honest. I mean, unless you're doing some monster volume that it changes my processing, then I really don't want to white label. I can do, when it says white bottle, which means I could put it in this bottle and you get your own shrink wrap and you figure it out. But the product will be in there with a blank bottle. You know, and so packaging, same way. We got some people that do buy some of the stuff and the bites and stuff like that. They wanted it clear. We can do it in clear, and then you would get like a Mylar, just a bigger Mylar bag, and brand it yourself, and then put the clear packaging in there. We can do that. So that's our version of our blank bottle. It would be our clear packaging.
And I do have several customers that already do that in the extreme chews and the crazy chews, so that wouldn't be.
That's not a problem.
An issue.
But what the problem is coming up with the design and everything that you have to do, what's all involved to make that happen.
Designing someone else's label. Yes, It's a lot. It's a lot.
And you go through a lot. You go through a lot on packaging. They get orders wrong, and it's time consuming. So if you want to grow quick, we'd love for you to carry our brand. Give Casey a call. What's the numbers they can get a hold of you at? I know we can get it on the website on TexasFreedomCBD.com. Yeah. And you could also, if you click on that site, you can click through to the wholesale site. Yeah,
if you go onto the retail site, you'll just click Shop Wholesale, or the wholesale site, it's going to be TexasFreedomWholesale.com. And a good number to be able to reach me is 903-556-7275. And that is my work cell phone. So I have that all day during the day, at night, and on the weekends too.
Okay. Well, thank y'all. And again, like and share us so we can get our name out there bigger and bigger. And because we really, really look at the reviews. You know, you don't have to take our word for it. Everybody says they have the best product. The kicker is look at the reviews.
Yeah, the reviews speak for themselves, and there's plenty of them.
Okay. Thank you.